So this idea of introducing shake-up days into your routine is really helpful if you want to break through a plateau, if the scales are stuck, or if you just want to make sure that you are seeing consistent results. For example, 0.5 kilo off till Christmas. And this is something I use with all my clients, and I myself have to do as well if I'm trying to drop, particularly once you get over 35. Oh my goodness, our bodies are just so good at adapting to what we do. And this is the thing, your body doesn't want to burn fat. Have you noticed that? Your body really wants to stay the same. Our bodies strive to stay the same. It doesn't like burning fat or gaining it, because all of these things require energy. So in order to keep your body losing fat, you've got to be one step ahead. Keep shaking it up so your body has to guess what's coming next. And that's what you can do with different nutrition strategies. Before I quickly tell you some of the things that I do with clients, let me explain how this fits into your eating routine. So if you're really in a bad place with your nutrition, the best thing to do is come first to your foundation. It's like driving. If you're in reverse, you've got to get back into neutral and first gear before you then start slamming it and going at fifth gear on the motorway, okay? You've just got to start driving in the right direction again. So for my clients, this looks like low carb, 3 meals a day, maybe a snack as well, but a really nice stable meal plan. That's going to get you going in the right direction again. Once you're back on the road, driving forward, then you add in these strategies like putting it into fifth and going for it on the motorway. But you can't be there all the time. You've got to be able to come back. And we don't want to go back to reverse. We want to come back to first gear. So think of these shake-up days like that. They are not meant to be done all the time because that's just unrealistic. And sometimes when you push too hard, your engine blows up. We don't want that. So these are short bursts that you add in when you need to see results. So you can do it with calories. This is where you might have a higher calorie day and then some really low calorie days. But we don't do the low calorie days all the time. That doesn't tend to work very well. That tends to slow your metabolism down. But you might do a day with between 500 or 800 calories. That's pretty low. And the next day you go back up to between 12 or 1400. I've done that with clients. It works really well because while a 500 to 800 day calorie day is not exactly fun, you're only doing it for one day. So that makes it a bit more bearable and that tends to work well. So you can do it with calories, maybe bring in some fasting, drop down to one meal. You could do one meal, the next day do 3. The next day you're doing 2, back to 1. That's really effective. You can also do it with carbs. You can mix up 0 carb days with higher carb days. Now, I've seen clients get great results doing this, even when their calories are exactly the same. So playing around with carbs is really powerful. Now, a 0 carb day, you might do meat, fish, seafood, high fat dairy. You're cutting out vegetables. You're only doing it for a day. It's quite rare to not have any carbs at all, so that's a good shock to your system. The next day, you go back to your veggies, go back to your low carb, really effective. You can also do a shake-up day by eating the same sort of food, but at radically different times. So you might swap it around and have your breakfast options for dinner and your dinner options for breakfast. I had a client once, that's all she changed, and she lost 1.7 kilos in a week. It made a huge difference. It broke through her plateau and got her seeing results again. So change up those meals at different times. That can have a big impact. And the last thing I'll suggest is that you can add in different types of meals that you don't normally have because that could make a difference. And a good example of this is protein shakes. So if you're normally having 3 meals a day or 3 meals and a snack, swap out 2 of those meals for a shake. That's something really different that your body's going to digest differently. You could also swap it maybe for some broth and do a day where you're having some bone broth and 1 meal. All of these ideas are really valid. It's all worth a try, and there's definitely lots of options up your sleeve rather than just thinking, oh, I'm going to have to do fasting. There's many, many ways that you can stimulate your metabolism and get things happening again. And if you want some guidance, look on this page. If you scroll down, I've got lots of different ideas that I've posted about doing an egg day, my 14 14-day program. So that's available if you click on the link in my bio. I've got a 14-day program that brings in a lot of these shake up days. There's different options out there. Just give it a go and see what works for you.